Hey everybody, Brickhouse here, and man, Disney sure knows how to stir up a controversy or two, or three, or four. The latest being the new live-action Snow White that's slated for release next March. It's not Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs like the classic 1937 animated feature, which, by the way, is the very first animated feature from Walt Disney Studios. Walt Disney personally was involved with that animated movie. But now we have the updated version, the politically correct version. It's not Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's Snow White and the Seven Bandits, or Snow White and the Seven Magical Creatures. I don't know what they are. All I know is they're not the Seven Dwarfs, which, according to one Peter Dinklage, the Seven Dwarfs is an affront to people with dwarfism, and we just can't have that. Even though the dwarfs and the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that we all know and love from being just a little kid, little tyke, little child, has nothing to do with making fun of people with dwarfism. So that's why you can thank Peter Dinklage for what we have today, or what we're gonna have here come next March. Now, there is one individual, that is fed up. In fact, he puts the blame on Peter Dinklage for the exclusion of the Seven Dwarfs, and that is one Dylan Postl, better known as Hornswoggle to those of us that have watched wrestling for quite a while. Disney's next live-action remake is Snow White. Her face is white as snow. Unless you cast a Colombian actor to play actress to play Snow White. Though the movie has found itself the subject of controversy lately, while the decision to cast Rachel Ziegler as the title character had drawn the unfortunate ire of some people on social media. No, it's not ire. We just want that if you're going to cast somebody to play Snow White, and it's a grim fairy tale, and Snow White is white, her face is white as snow, don't cast a Latino actress, or a Latina actress, or a Colombian actress. That's the first problem. It's the movie's exclusion of the Seven Dwarfs, which has been making headlines. Set photos showed a group of diverse male and female actors. There's your first problem. None of the dwarfs were female. Secondly, none of the dwarfs were diverse. Thirdly, they were dwarfs. They were regular-sized adults, for lack of a better term. Accompanying Snow White, with only one little person among the ranks. Cries of Disney being woke and politically correct followed. Well, those cries are truth. Disney is woke. Disney does kowtow to the politically correct mob. Disney does follow DEI standards. Disney does follow ESG. But for true fans of the original 1937 movie, the group's absence comes as a major letdown. It's not just a letdown, it's the fact that they don't follow the source material. Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey are the iconic part of the story, and replacing them with group thought to be called the Bandits doesn't sit right with a lot of Disney fans. It doesn't sit right with a lot of fans, not just Disney fans. It doesn't sit right with rational people. People that critically think, people that are logical. Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage was perhaps the movie's biggest detractor, praising Disney for casting a Latina actress as Snow White before querying to the decision to make the effing backward story of 7 dwarves living in the cave. To that, the studio responded by saying the group were being reimagined. During a recent interview, former WWE superstar Dylan Postal Hornswoggle took aim at Dinklage for actually hurting his fellow little person actors with those remarks. There are actors, dwarf actors, that live that dream to be in a major motion picture such as this Disney remake. And now, because Peter Dinklage said what he said last year, now it's taken away because of progression. Postal explains. It's not right because there aren't roles made for actors of my stature. Roles that aren't ever really given. I can't go out for the Harrison Ford or George Clooney roles because that's not for me. These dwarf roles are for people of my stature. And now it's taken away. I don't feel that's right. Not only that, but now think about the additional stunt actors, body doubles. Now you're talking multiple actors of my stature that don't get these major roles. All of these dwarfs took care of Snow White. He continues. They weren't these cave-dwelling monsters that people speak of. They all had 7 different characteristics for 7 different actors from my community. And he's right. I don't know how many of you remember or how many of you are old enough. If you're not old enough, you should look this up. There was a movie called Over the Rainbow. Made in the early 1980s. Maybe late 70s. Starring Chevy Chase. And that movie centered around... I think it was Wizard of Oz. Well, I digress. That movie starred quite a few dwarfs. Now, just imagine, just think, just imagine remaking the movie Over the Rainbow today. Are you going to recast all those roles for those little people, for those dwarfs, with regular size adults? Not only that, you're going to follow the DEI and ESG standards and make them diverse? I mean, come on, man. It's a valid counter argument, and the continued backlash surrounding Disney's decision to move away from the 7 dwarfs could do Mark Webb's reboot before we're even seen a trailer. Oh yeah, that movie is DOA. What we do know is that it's far too late to change anything now, so time will tell whether these changes work. Also starring Gal Gadot as the evil queen, Snow White is currently set to arrive in theaters on March 22nd, 2024. So, I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you think? Comment down below, share your thoughts. While you're at it, please take the time to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified when my content becomes available here on YouTube. Share this video out with your friends and family. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you later.